Hello, everyone. My name is Abdullah, and I'm coming from the British University in Dubai. I have a paper that I want to present to you here today. Before I start with my presentation, how many of you are working in universities? If you could raise your hands up. And the administration department. OK. So I work in the British University in Dubai as a faculty administrator. And my role helps the student to get all of their requirements throughout their program. So if they require, for example, a student letter, if they want a program progression, if they want to have, thank you, if they want to have any requirement by the university, I am the one who's responsible in fulfilling these things. Talking to this, I would like to thank the University of Nicosia and the team for having me here, because this research paper is an outcome or a result for our collaboration with them. So if you could join me and put your hands up together for them. A little bit about the project that we started with the University of Nicosia. We followed presentation regarding the Smart Certificates project, where we get to issue our final certificates to the student through, it will be verified using the blockchain. I honorably joined the team to code these certificates and put them on the chain, and then this project really satisfied our students. From that perspective, I wanted to have a perception or study the perception of applying the blockchain technology to help or to serve the students in the educational sector. So this paper, it was conducted as my research thesis at the University of Wollongong in Dubai, where I did my master's, and it's being done with the British University in Dubai, where I worked. So a little bit about the contents of the agenda. I'm going to talk you about the introduction. What was the problem statement? How did I define the questions or the objective for my research? Where did I did my literature map? What was the contribution and discussion, and the future work expected? So currently, we don't have enough research to support blockchain in the educational sector. The research in this area is still immature. Blockchain have proven that it has a great benefits in all the other aspects or all the other fields. How about if applying this blockchain technology to serve the educational system? So my problem statement is introducing the blockchain technology to the educational sector, as it was a new concept. We needed to have more potential research in this area, and we wanted to explore more opportunities. So this would be my questions or the objective of having the research. I wanted to study how could you utilize the blockchain technology to enhance and reduce the cost of the student records archiving. I wanted to study how can we use the blockchain to improve the integrity and confidentiality of the educational sector. I wanted to study how can we use the blockchain technology to enhance the student services, reaching them to the students' happiness. And this is, by the way, a concept that is being followed by all the organizations in Dubai. They want all the customers or the students to be happy. The definition of word happy means so many things. I'm going to introduce it right now. So this is my literature map. I linked between the big data concept and blockchain as a subsidiary of big data, and then how this will affect the two main important areas in the student life in the higher educational sector. So we have the students' records, the students' academic records. This includes their grades, their admission criteria, their previous marks, anything related to the records like their marks, and the student campus life experience. This includes all the other activities that they are pursuing. I followed two papers for Kifah Rabah in 2018, and he produced actually at least 5 letters talking about digitization, blockchain, and the big data concepts. My research methodology or my information was conducted from interviews, and I followed the qualitative data collection because the research in this area wasn't really clear. So having an interview with decision makers will help me to get a new concept and identify new concepts. I would also had an open-ended questions with the interviewees where it will help to elaborate more and get more details if needed. I've also attended several conferences. In Dubai, we have the Future Blockchain Summit, which is being held on a yearly basis, and we are lucky to get top people in the world talking about blockchain. And also, we reviewed some documents, like the documents about the smart certificates between BUID and University of Nicosia. The result of my research, we had several areas, and based on the answers received from those interviews, for example, in the archiving methods, I asked a question about how do you archive the student records. So we had people who are following a mixed methodology, meaning they are using online system and they are using an actual papers. And this is the mixed methodologies. We had 3 participants who used to follow the mixed methodologies. 2 participants used the public folder methodology where you store your information on the public folder on your network. 2 participants using an ERP system like Oracle PeopleSoft and Ellucian Kirkus, and 1 participant using the paper paste. An interesting review for participant number 7, they had a paper paste archiving methods, and they are trying to move to a new system, and they had to scan all of their documents in order to move them or digitize them by the end of that year. I've also followed the completing a request, for example, which was something that I am currently working on. The student have either to go to the administration, fill in the request, wait for a certain amount of days, and then they get the response back. During that process, the administration department will be requiring that student to provide them with information, which is something unsatisfactory. We already have the student information. We shouldn't ask him twice about the same thing. Reducing the financial cost. The British University in Dubai, we are spending 30% of our annual cost only on printing papers. What if we can just eliminate the use of the papers and use these costs for other benefits for the students? Reducing the time spent. My colleague who's working on the admission department, he have to scan and request the information every single year, every single term, asking the students to provide their documents in order to add it to our system. The student have graduated from a university in the UAE, for example, or in a school from the UAE. Why should I ask him about the same document again? So by proposing the blockchain system, by introducing the blockchain technology to the higher educational sector, we will not ask you to provide your documents because it will be already verified. It will be already there on the public network to see it. Now coming to the discussion, archiving methods were the most interesting area in my whole research. I discovered that we still have people who are following, we still have organizations who are following the public folder archiving methods, where you just get to scan your documents and put it on the public folder on the network of the university. Now this has low security constraints, anybody can change them. It's inconvenient for the student and it's inconvenient for the staff as well. Coming to the contribution of this study, based on the research made, based on the interviews and the document views made, I have discovered that applying the blockchain technology in the educational sector will reduce the cost of the student records archiving. And by reducing the cost, I mean the financial cost and the time spent by the staff. And we can use this time and this cost to do other important things. It will improve and enhance both the integrity and the confidentiality of the student's records. So the student would expect that the records there are clear, they are integratable, they are confidential. They don't expect us to share their information with a third party. And finally, blockchain technology in the educational sector will definitely enhance the student experience in the higher educational services. Let me give you an example. We run several trips to the United Kingdom by the British University in Dubai. So every time we need to ask the student to provide their contact details, their passport number, all of the other information that they need for the visa application. Wouldn't it be great if we can just, with a click of a button, get all of this information from the system, and it is verifiable, nobody can change them? This is how I'm planning to apply the blockchain to serve the students. Now, my recommendation based on this study is that we need the help of the government entities in order to support the adoption of the blockchain technology in the higher educational sector. In Dubai, we have a great example for Dubai Smart Office, who are working day and night in order to forecast the technologies for the next 10 years and try to import them today instead of tomorrow. In fact, by the 2021, we will be having the Dubai blockchain strategy, which targets to transfer 70% of the governmental transaction to be fully on the blockchain. We need to be careful while implementing this technology, because any mistake at the beginning, this won't give the trust, or won't keep the trust with our customers, and also the future adoption of the new technology will be needed. So we need to integrate it with technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, in order to avoid these mistakes. Now, another important point, blockchain might not be suitable for your organization, might be suitable for my organization. Based on the business case that we recommend, we can sit to use blockchain or not. So you need to understand the business case properly in order to be able to suggest the proper solution. And finally, we need to check the final scenarios and case studies in order to know what mistakes, what went bad, in order to avoid it in the previous, in the next experiences. So the conclusion for my research paper, blockchain, it is an accurate, verifiable, and reliable solution in the educational sector. And at this stage, we should spread the awareness about the benefits of using the blockchain technology throughout the higher educational sector in order to reach up to the overall organizational goal. Thank you so much.